everyone! Coming live from California. Found a better location with better broadband. So hopefully the changes from last week are integrated sufficiently for us to get this shine on this week. So thank you for your patience and your persistence in coming back to work on your stuff. I appreciate you. We have special guests this week, as you can see. There's a whole group of lovely people all joining in together. You can, hello! Beautiful new members of Team Love. They've been tapping with me for about 14 solid days. Imagine how much they've moved. They are glowing and shining for us to and so get beautiful. This shine on this week. So thank you for your patience and your persistence. That was me in the background doubling. All right, so I'm glad you all are here, and thank you for being here in support of this beautiful process and project. You know, we're here to clean up the world from the inside out. And the more we bring love to ourselves, the more we bring love to our systems, not just our biological systems, but all the systems that we impact with our words and our choices and our time and our money and our energy and our vision. So the clearer you get and the more powerful you become with your courageous, willing, loving heart, the more powerful we, the people of this planet, become. And it's my calling to make sure that we come back to life sufficiently enough to make sure this planet rises in the full glory it was intended to be, that we, the people, clean up the water and hold the land as sacred and keep it green and alive, and clean up the air as we clean up our minds, and take care of our children and take care of each other and serve each other, and we prosper and flourish on this planet together. So I really respect you for being a part of that process with us. We will have a couple more people popping in as we get started. Hopefully you're able to log on easily this week with us. So you might see Jana pop on with another person who's been tapping with us from our beginning to intermediate level retreat, and we're broadcasting from her house just a few miles down the road in Napa Valley. And this is a fresh rose from the garden. Can you smell it? It smells really good. All right, so I think that, you know, the message I want to give you this week as we begin is just powering up and doing what it takes and holding yourself accountable. And, you know, the meditation I had at breakfast this morning over my little bowl of food was, this is my world. You know, what if we all took it upon ourselves to say, you know what, this is my world. How do I want my world to go? Not in the sense of like, this is my world, egotistical way, but more like, this is my world, so this is my responsibility. And when I really carry that in my heart, I'm like, oh, well, not on my watch, you know. We're going to clean things up. What if we all took that feeling of pride and saying, this is my planet, and if I'm actually a part of the creation of this, then I'm also the part of the change of this in a very practical way. So I invite you to play with the autonomy and sovereignty and authority to really come into your power as a suggested offering for your tap tonight, if you don't already have something that you're already got queued up emotionally from your week. Okay, so I'd like to say hello to all of the people who've made it onto this circle with us today to be here live. So go ahead and chat in your hellos and let us know where you're logging in from. It encourages us to see that it's more than me and a few amazingly brave, loving souls. So we also like to see how far this love travels. So I can see there are several familiar names in the room with us. saying hi to Adrian and Marco and Mary and Alicia and Gina and John and Marielle and Rob and Diana. Hi, everybody. I'm also aware that there are people who don't have the chat function enabled or don't want their name in the circle, and I acknowledge that you're here. And all of the people who are sleeping right now but are going to wake up and tap along with us, whose names shall not be revealed in this moment. So, hi to you. And I hope you're feeling good. All right. So we're going to do the core causes. Core causes questions. You'll see a sidebar if you're using the chat function. And on the top of the sidebar is a little tab that says Pop-ins. If you press that, there'll be a big yellow button at the bottom that says Get Started. And that'll take you to a live form where you can start to reference the root of your issue, which is really useful. You can use EFT very topically just to take off the incoming stress or to release some of the charge, which is a great way to use the tool. I'm really into being thorough, and that's because I'm lazy, because I don't really want to have to go back and do this 15 more times because I did it halfway. I want to get in, get it on, get it done, and get going onto some other more fun thing. Okay? So go ahead and do the core causes. You're welcome to write the answers down if you want to. And if you can't access this or you want a PDF of this, you can go to my website, Sonya, S-O-N-Y-A, Sophia, S-O-P-H-I-A.us, and under the World Tapping Circle link, you'll find a PDF printable version of the core causes questions. So I'm going to talk to you in about 5 minutes and give you some time to quickly reference the root of your issue, and I'll be right back. Yay. Okay, so go ahead and hit submit and send it in. Okay. Can y'all see me? Okay, good. All right. Jennifer, can you screen share the answers? Here we go. Good. So she's just going to scroll through these really quick. And as she does, I want you all to just tap on your chest. Big, deep breath, okay? So you can kind of see that there's a spread of different things here. People are working on different issues. What are the negative feelings associated with your issue? Fear is going down. Amazing. Most well, we have anxious, worried, overwhelmed, exhausted. Tap your chest and breathe. Grieving. Yeah. Okay. Some people feeling unloved, betrayed, crazy, trapped, helpless. Keep breathing as you're remembering the feelings that you put in there. Disconnected, dizzy, foggy. Okay. Feelings of I'm not good enough, it's impossible to heal, I don't have what it takes, I don't want the responsibility, I'll deal with this later. Big breath, keep tapping your chest and breathing. We're just scanning the feelings that come up inside. What does your culture say about this? I'm trying to read this here. Let's see. I don't want you bothering me anymore. I've moved on. What we need to do is just work around her and make the decisions for her, and then she'll have no choice but to do what we ask. Let's go have a drink and celebrate. Well, everyone deserves a second chance, but you are hopeless. Get it together. He's holding authority over you while remaining unsupportive of your efforts. You're so young to be having issues. Nothing. It's taboo. It's not stuck energy. Grow up and go to the doctor. Okay, and then here we have, just for people who are more visual, how they're imagining it in their bodies. Okay. And when did the issue start? Looks like a lot of people are saying it started before they were born. Some people saying my whole life. Some people not sure. Okay. And who do you blame or hold responsible for your issue? Some people blaming mom. A lot of people just saying I'm not blaming anyone. Some people say my whole family. Big breath, tapping your chest. Who in your family modeled similar attitudes and feelings? A lot of people see that a lot of their behavior templated off of their parents, off of their mother in particular, if she happened to be your primary caregiver. Where do you feel it in your body? A couple people say everywhere. Some people say nowhere, can't feel it at all. Some people say my legs and my feet. If your issue had a texture, what would it be? What would it feel like? Tight? Jagged? Sharp? Smoky? Sticky? Okay, tapping your chest and breathing. What benefit do you think you're receiving by holding on to this issue? This is a really important question, because I believe human beings are always doing what they think is best 100% of the time. And you're like, whoa, how can that be? Well, it's what you think is best. You might be operating on a faulty belief system, and some things that you might have decided at a really young age that you haven't gone back to re-examine to see if you still want that to be your truth. So that's why we're going back to where things started, to see if the original choice still stands at age 30 that you made when you were 2 or 5 or 15. Okay, so rating the intensity. Wow, we got some good high numbers. Congratulations. This is going to be fun because you're going to get some real relief. Okay, all right. Here we go. Massaging the chest. Finding the sore spots in the front of the chest. Big deep breath. Even though I have this issue, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Can you say that 2 or 3 times with some real feeling in there? Even though I have this issue, say what your issue is. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. One more time with feeling. Even though I have this issue, I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Good. Big breath, big sigh. Eyebrows. This issue. Say what it is. Tap the temples. Let's say it again. This issue. Tap the cheeks. Say it again. This issue. Tap under the nose. I love and respect myself. Tap under the lips. And if that's too hard to say, I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Big breath. Good. Tap the chest. I'm judging myself because of this issue. Tune in and see if you are. What are you telling yourself? You tell yourself you're helpless, that you're unworthy of love, that it's impossible to heal this. Just blurt it out. Say one of those negative things. Just stick with one for now. Big breath, tapping the center of your chest. And down to the front of the ribs. Telling myself what? Say it again. And the side of the ribs. I've been telling myself, big deep breath. If you're having a lot of emotions move, I'm going to ask you to breathe with a nice relaxed jaw. Tap the inside of your wrist and breathe. I've been telling myself, say it again. Good job. Strong breath, especially if you're having a lot of feelings come up. Tap the side of the thumb. I've been telling myself, say it again. Tap your index finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the middle finger, even though I've been telling myself what? Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. How long have you been telling yourself this? How old were you when you first started thinking that that was true, or that judgment appeared in your mind? Tap your little finger. I've been telling myself this for how long? Just guess. Tap the side of the hand and breathe. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the top of the head, even if a part of me has been telling myself. And tap the eyebrows, telling yourself what? Big deep breath. And tap the temples. I love and accept myself. Tap the cheeks. Even if a part of me feels like what? Tap into the nose and breathe. Good. Tap under the lips. It's safe for me to clear this. Tap the chest. I don't want to keep telling myself the same negative thing again and again. Say what the negative thing is. And tap the front of the ribs. This old judgment. Say the judgment again. Tap the side of the ribs. This old judgment. And tap the inside of your wrist. I love and respect myself, even with this old judgment. And if that's too hard to say I'm open to loving and respecting myself, even though I have this old judgment. Tap your index finger, tune into that judgment again. Say it out loud and see if it still feels as heavy or as painful as it did a minute ago. Tap the middle finger. I'm telling myself what? Say it again. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Why do you think you're telling yourself this? Are you trying to teach yourself a lesson or protect yourself? Tap your little finger. Are you trying to force yourself to do something or to keep yourself from doing something by telling yourself this again and again? Tap the side of your hand. I'm telling myself this because why? Tap the top of the head. Ask yourself, where did you pick this judgment up from? Think back. Where did you first hear this same kind of attitude? Maybe it wasn't told to you. Maybe it was an adult in your environment telling themselves that, and you picked it up and modeled yourself after that adult. Tap the side of the head and the back of the head and breathe. Tap the eyebrows. I'm open to releasing this judgment from wherever it started. Tap the temples. I'm bringing myself back to life, including in the places that I've been shutting down, condemning, insulting myself. Tap under the lips. Hurting my own feelings. Hurting my own feelings, really? Oh no, no. We gotta be sweet to that loving being. She or he has been through so much already. It's amazing that you're still alive. Tap the front of your chest and breathe. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. And tap the front of the ribs. Even with this feeling, the self-criticism. And tap the inside of your wrist. I'm releasing this thought, this belief. Tap the side of the thumb. And I'm open to the possibility of forgiving everyone involved. And think back again who that might be. Your mother, your father, a stepfather, a sibling, school teacher. Tap the index finger. I'm open to forgiving them, even if they don't deserve it. Big breath, make some sound. Good. Just to get my life force back. That's right. The more you can release the attachment of being angry at them, feeling upset towards them, the faster you get your energy back. And we're going to let the universe net out the punishments, okay? You don't have to be that person. The universe has a way of giving us all what we need to grow and learn. Tap your little finger and breathe. And the side of your hand. I'm releasing this old judgment. And tap the top of the head. Tune into your issue that we started with. And I want you just to feel, I'm not going to ask you to put it in the chat window yet. I just want you to feel how intense it is. And tap the eyebrows. Big breath, big sigh. And tap the temples. This issue. Tap the front of the cheek. This issue. Say it again. Tap into the nose. This issue. Tap into the lips. I love myself. Tap the front of the chest, even with this issue, exactly as it is. Tap down to the front of the ribs. I'm open to releasing this issue from my body. Tap the side of the ribs. And from wherever it started, think back to where it started and when it started. And tap the inside of the wrist. I love and forgive myself. Tap the side of the thumb. Even if this issue doesn't change, tap your index finger. Give yourself permission to be stuck. I know that sounds crazy. Why would I give myself permission to be stuck? That's why I'm here, because I'm stuck. I don't want to be more stuck. You're not going to get more stuck by giving yourself permission. You're actually going to unstick yourself by just admitting right now, I feel stuck. Okay? And accepting that you feel stuck. So even though I feel stuck, and part of me fears I might always be stuck, it's okay. Big breath. Tap the middle finger. Part of me feels stuck. Stuck with what or stuck where? Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. I feel stuck. Say where exactly you feel stuck. Big sigh, big breath. Good job. Tap your little finger. I love and respect myself, even if I feel stuck. And tap the side of your hand. This stuck feeling. Tap the top of your head. I'm releasing this feeling of being stuck and trapped. Tap the eyebrows. I'm moving myself forward right now. Tap the temples. It's possible the damage is not permanent. Tap the cheeks. It's really possible. Just let it be a possibility, okay? You don't have to believe it, but at least let the possibility exist that you're not permanently damaged, just for fun, okay? Tap under the lips and breathe. Good job. Tap your chest. Tune back into your issue. What's the number one worst negative feeling that comes up when you think about your issue? Is it anxiety or overwhelm? Is it guilt? Is it anger? What's your number one negative feeling? And just say that feeling. I feel so what? Tap the front of the ribs. I feel so what? And tap the side of the ribs. I feel so what? And tap the inside of the wrist. I love and respect myself, even though I feel so what? Tap the side of the thumb. It's safe for me to clear this. And tap the index finger. It's really safe for me to clear this. Tap your middle finger. I feel so, say it again. We're going to say that 5 or 6 times. Big breath. I feel really what? Bottom of the fourth finger. Say it again. Middle finger. Say it again. Big breath. Big sigh. Good job. side of your hand. I feel so, say it again. Tap the top of the head. I'm open to releasing this strong feeling of what? Even though it's all I know. I'm so used to feeling this way. Tap the temples, it's okay. Tap the cheeks. I accept that I feel this way right now. Big breath. Tune into that same feeling. See if you can still feel it. Good job. And now I'm going to ask you to tune into your issue again. The same one that we started with. And I want you to ask yourself how intense it is now from 0 to 10. Tap your chest and just accept whatever number popped into your head. It's a what? Just blurt it out. Tap the front of the ribs. It's really a what? Tap the side of the ribs. I love and respect myself. And tap the inside of the wrist. So now I'm going to let you go ahead and put that information in the chat window. So what I'd like to know is where it was when we began. Say it was an 8, 9, or a 10. And then now it's a what? And just let me know. It's going to take a few seconds for that chat to come into my side of things. Go ahead and put that in as soon as you can. For those of you who can't chat, please just accept the rate of intensity as it occurs right now without pushing on it, without trying to change it, without judging it. Just there it is. Tap your chest and breathe. Okay, so I'm just going to check in with some of the chat. Jennifer Partridge says she's gone from an 8 to a 5, which is pretty amazing that she can run the back end of this and tap and process and run support all at the same time. She's a superstar. Sarah says from a 7 to a 5. Yay. Way coming down. Much easier to manage. Rob, an 8 to a 7, but I worked on it before and it was lower. Okay. Good for you to investigate, Rob. What keeps regrowing this for you? What part of you feels almost addicted to this feeling? And we can get chemically addicted, which I'm not accusing you of, but just dig around. See what part wants this to keep going on. Okay, Christina says, oh, not being ashamed, being shame itself. Wow, honey, you really internalize that feeling of shame. You might just tap on that deep internal feeling of shame the whole time we're tapping today. Gina, you were an 8 and now you're a 6. Diana says she's got a guest and she was a 7, now she's a 4. The guest was a 9, down to a 7. Great. Jana says, hasn't changed, not sure what the root is. Really? She will often say that before a big breakthrough. And Nicole says, from a 9 to a 6, that's fabulous. They're just in the other room over there, tapping away with me in the bedroom. Adrian's an 8 to a 6. Awesome. Beautiful. And Celeste, 9 to a 6 to a 1. You're blowing me away, girl. Congratulations. All right, tapping the front of the chest. Here we go. Even though I feel what? What have you been feeling about this issue? You might want to stay on the same thing, like in Christina's case, or maybe like in Celeste's case, you're moving on to the next feeling. So you probably have several feelings. Maybe underneath the fear is some grief, and you want to go to that next. I'm going to let you fill it in for yourself, okay? Even though I have a lot of what? Name the feeling. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the eyebrows. I feel really what? And for people who aren't getting a lot of movement, you might start with, I'm really scared to feel this. I don't want to feel this. Part of me wants to stay numb. Okay? So I feel what? And feel free to say numb if that's what you think it is. I feel, say it again. Tap into the lips, big deep breath, big sigh. Good. Tap your chest in a big circle. I feel what? Tap the front of the chest. The front of the ribs. Part of me doesn't like feeling, so what? I really don't like feeling this way. And just acknowledge that it's an uncomfortable feeling, an uncomfortable place to be. That's totally fine. We all really want to feel good. That's why we go to such extremes to numb things and to take substances and to shut ourselves down in a lame attempt to feel good. Well, now we're going for direct feelings of goodness. Ready? I'm willing to process this pain. Can't say that. Say, I'm not willing to process this pain yet, but I might be getting closer. Tap the index finger. This feeling of, say it again. Big sigh. Remember, if you're having a lot of feelings, to open your mouth and give yourself deep, strong breaths. Tap your middle finger. I'm so used to feeling this way. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. It's become normal for me to feel this way about this issue. Tap your little finger. I can't imagine not feeling this way. Big breath. Give yourself some compassion for limiting yourself with your imagination. It's hard to imagine beyond a chronic experience sometimes. Tap the top of the head. This issue started when did it start for you? And this feeling that you're working on, when did this feeling and this issue really begin? Back of the head, sides of the head, eyebrows, and breathe. Temples, it all started when what? Tap the front of the cheeks. And I told myself what? If you were little, you might have told yourself it was your fault. Kids weirdly blame themselves for the way their parents treat them. Tap under the lips. I told myself, or I was made to believe or led to believe what? Blurt it out. Say that 4 or 5 times. I started to believe, or I started to think. Say it again. Big circle across the chest. Say it again, front of the ribs. Side of the ribs. Say it again. Tap the inside of the wrist. Say it one more time with feeling. I started believing what was true about me or the world. Ooh, I got blurry for a second. Camera's readjusting. Hang in there, just keep tapping. I love and respect myself. Tap the index finger. Even though I started to believe what? Tap your middle finger. It's safe for me to clear this old belief that started when I was how old? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. And what was going on? Can you say the situation? And tap the little finger. What would it be like to release this? Tap the side of the hand. What would it be to release this from? What part of the body do you think you store the stress and memory of this in? Where do you feel it right now as we're tapping? Tap the top of the head. What would it be like to release the feeling of what? Back of the head. Eyebrows. Stored where? Tap the temples. It's a brand new idea. I didn't know I could release it from my what? And tap into the nose. Big breath. Good. But I'm open to releasing it. Good. Yes. Are you? Are you open to releasing it right now? Tap your chest. I love and respect myself. And if that's too hard to say, again, I'm open to loving and respecting myself, even though I've been feeling what? Since when? Because why? Tap the front of the ribs. And it's hard for me to imagine feeling any differently. Tap the side of the ribs. How could tapping on the side of my ribs change what happened in my past? Big breath. Make some sound. Tap the inside of the wrist. How could tapping on my wrist change anything that's already happened? Big breath. Good job. Tap the side of your thumb. I'm open to releasing the memory of what? What is this related to again? I'm open to releasing the experience of what? It's safe for me to finally get underneath this. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. I love and respect myself. Say it with some enthusiasm. One more time. See if you can make me feel it. I love and respect myself. Yes. Tap your little finger. It's safe for me to clear this. And tap the side of the hand. I'm open to the possibility of releasing the trauma, the drama, the shame, the blame, and all the feelings involved. Tap the top of your head, including what? Name 3 feelings involved. Up the side of the head. I'm especially releasing these 3 feelings. Say them again. Tap the eyebrows. Because I'd rather be feeling, what would the opposite of those 3 feelings be? So if it was trauma, drama, and shame, the trauma would be peace, drama would be peace, shame would be feeling good about myself. What are the opposites of those 3 feelings? I'll give you a minute to say what those are. Same again. I'm open to feeling what? Positive feelings. Tap into the nose. It would be much more useful for me. Tap under your lips at this stage in my life. Tap your chest to be feeling more what? Those same 3 positive feelings. Beautiful. Good. Tap the front of your ribs. I'm allowing my body to get used to feeling more what? Say those same 3 things. Tap the side of the ribs. Let's say that again. And say it with a bit more enthusiasm. I'm allowing my body to get used to feeling more 1, 2, and 3. Tap the inside of your wrist. Tuning into your feelings and, not your feelings, your original issue. And give yourself a minute to see how intense it is now. Tap the side of the thumb. And where do you feel that in your body when you check in? Big breath, just accepting the feeling of this intensity. Tap your index finger. It's still, say whatever number it is. Tap the middle finger, and it's related to what? Let's say that one again. That felt like it was powerful. It's still, say the number, and it's related to what? Tap the little finger. It's still, say it again. Tap the side of the hand, and it's related to what? Tap the top of the head and the eyebrow. One more time. Tuning into the number of intensity with your feeling, with your issue. Tap your teeth. See if you can still feel that intensity. Tap under the nose and what it's related to. Tap under the lips. It's related to this. Say what it is. Tap the chest. And I don't expect tapping on my chest to change anything. Tap the front of the ribs. I'm open to this, helping me release some of this intensity. Tap the side of the ribs. It's safe for me to do this. And the inside of the wrists. It's safe for me to do this, to clear this. Okay, tuning back into your issue again. What number would you give it now? Just accept whatever number pops up. Good. And for fun, we're going to put that information in the chat window again. Okay? So bear with me. If you aren't able to chat, tap the center of your chest and just accept whatever number of intensity is actually still there for you without trying to change it. Just bring loving compassion to the feeling of intensity that's there. Okay? And I'm going to take a peek at the chat. Great. So Nicole says she's gone down to a 4.5. Awesome. Jennifer says down from an 8 to a 4. That's beautiful. Jonna's gone from an 8 to a 5. Beautiful work. Just give you a few more seconds to put your chat in. Adrian went from an 8 to a 6 to a 4, and it's related to facing social situations and wanting to be more intimate on a daily basis. Okay. Gina's gone from an 8 to a 4. That's great. 50% off. Christina, a 10 to a 7. Good. Oh. Christina, I'm so sorry you had such a mean mom, and I'm so glad you're here healing that now with us. Celeste, you've gone from a 10 to a 7. Lots of body pain, like acupuncture. Yep. The meridians that we use in acupuncture are the same that you're tapping on right now. So you're getting energy flowing through that part of your body. And you're coming back to life, basically, electrically. Mary, from a 7 to a 6 to a 5, stepping it down. Rob, going down from an 8 down to 6 3/4. Very precise. I do feel like I'm releasing, but notice some resistance to authority. In this case, you. Right. A really great way to to do is point at the screen and say, "You can't change me," while you tap. Don't worry. Happens all the time. It helps. It's really nice to be able to tell authority figures off once in a while. And I won't take it personally because I know you're here because you want some support and love and that you respect me enough to be here. Okay, Sarah, you've gone down from a 7 to a 3. Awesome! Everyone's shifting. I feel so inspired. Okay, let's go back to tapping. The front of the chest, big circle, big breath. Here we go. Even though it's still say the number. I love and accept myself. Eyebrows, it's still a what for me? Tap the temples. Ask yourself, what's still holding this together? What haven't I acknowledged or addressed? Is it the way someone looked at you? You can remember that squinty, mean look on the face. Was it words that were repeated to you again and again? If so, I want you to repeat the exact same phrase. For example, "You're stupid," right? Or "You're fat and ugly," or "I don't love you anymore," something that really profoundly affected you. Okay? What's still holding this together? Tap under the lips. Big breath. Tap the chest. What's still holding this together? Say it again. Tap the front of the ribs. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of the ribs, even though this, and say what this is for you, is still underneath it. Tap the inside of the wrist. Sometimes it's a memory. So, for example, Christina said, "I made messes, I'm blind, my mom had to clean them up, she got angry at me because I was blind." So she decided she was bad and wrong, right? So it's that feeling of shame and that memory of making messes that you're going to be tapping on. The actual memory of her yelling at you. Tap the side of the thumb and breathe. And tap your index finger. This is still holding it together for me. Say again what it is. Tap your middle finger. I'm open to loving and forgiving myself, even if this is what's really underneath it. I want you just to send some love backwards through your body, back through time and space, through your heart, and breathe right back into that earlier version of you that had to go through that really painful situation. Could have been even last week, wherever this started for you. Chances are it's older than last week, if it still bothers you. Tap your middle finger, keep doing it. Breathe again. Big heart full of compassion, sending it back with empathy. You know the story better than anyone. This younger version of you deserves some credit and some love and some respect for somehow managing to get you out of there alive. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. Again, sending love, forgiveness, and compassion back through space and time. Big breath. Do it again. Little finger. Do it again. Backwards. One more time. What did that version of you really need back then? Can you send that love or that attention or that feeling of being believed or understood or supported or trusted or whatever it was that you really needed? Someone to hold you? Tap the top of the head. What I really needed back then was, and just say what it was. Tap the eyebrows, and now send that very same thing back to yourself. Tap the temples and breathe. Tap the cheeks. I needed what? Say it again. Tap into the nose, and I'm giving it to myself now. One more big blast to the past. Good. Tap your chest. Let's check in again and see how you feel now. You don't need to put it in the chat window yet. We're going to wait a few more minutes to do that, but I just want you to check in. How did that feel to receive that? Was that part of you willing to receive that from you now, the present version of you? Tap the front of your ribs. And if not, let's give that part of you some more empathy. I accept the part of me that has a hard time. I gotta fix my camera, it just kind of fell off here. I accept the part of me. I'm going to tap the front of my ribs and just tell you to tap there. You should know these points by now, right? I accept the part of me that has a hard time receiving this love. Tap the side of your ribs and breathe. And just accept that part of you that got really scared, really hurt, really angry, really fearful. Tap the inside of the wrist. I accept this part of me that's not used to loving attention. Tap the side of your thumb. I'm bringing this part of me back to life. This part that got so shut down, so turned off, so what? Can you say it? This part of me got so, say it again. At the bottom of the fourth finger, this part of me got so, say it again. Tap the little finger. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of your hand. Even with a part of me stuck in the past, feeling what? Tap the top of the head. Send that part of you some love again from the present day version of yourself. Tap the eyebrows and tell that part of yourself that got stuck back there, hurt and sad and scared and angry and alone and ashamed. Tell that part of yourself, you made it, baby. You made it through. Because they still don't know they made it. The present day version of you, right here in the circle, knows. Because we did make it. You're still breathing. We're here. We're moving forward. You're choosing to evolve. That part of you is still wondering if they're going to make it. So just send them a little message and say, you did. You made it. Tap into the nose. You made it through. Tap under the lips. And I'm really proud of you. Tap your chest and breathe. Good. Tap the front of the ribs. I'm allowing myself to catch up with myself. Tap the side of the ribs. I've made it through. I don't have to be stuck in this past trauma anymore. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing myself to update. Tap the side of the thumb. What would you rather be feeling about this issue? What would the worked out, healed up version be? Safe, strong, clear thinking, trusting or trustworthy. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. I'm allowing myself to catch up with myself. With feelings of what? What would the positive version be? And tap the side of your hand. It's safe for me to do this. Tap the top of the head. It's safe for me to do this. Tap the eyebrows. It's really safe for me to do this. Tap the temples. It's safe for me to do this now. And the cheeks. And breathe. Tap under your nose. Let's have another check-in, okay? Tap your chest. Tune into the intensity of your issue. And I will have you put it in the chat window. Put what it was initially before we started tapping and what it's down to now. And also a word or two about what you think still might be holding this together. For those of you who aren't chatting, tap your chest. Make note of those two things, what it was, what it is, what's still underneath it. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. So Jennifer is saying it's gone from an 8 to a 2. There's sadness that it happened. Great. Sometimes we just need to be allowed to grieve a little. So you keep tapping on that sad feeling while I'm reading the chat. Christina says 7 to a 5. I don't deserve love because I'm blind. I'm obviously not loved, or I would have been sighted. Just want to love you up, Christina. But I'm glad it's down to a 5, that there's a little possibility that your mom was wrong, okay? I know you can not hear that rationally, maybe quite all the way through, but it's still the truth. Keep tapping on that little unlovable girl. Nicole says, is feeling better. She sounds like she's got it. Rob says, 8 to a 4. And I'll say F asterisk you in a loving way for making me feel better. Still afraid to go further, wanting stability in my life and personality. Okay, so the idea is if I let this part of my identity finish shifting, I'm going to become unstable. And that's going to destabilize my life. So ask yourself, is it really true? Or is it possible that actually the opposite is true, that holding on to this is actually destabilizing? Consider the possibility. You can say F asterisk you as much as you need to in a loving way. Okay, Diana went up to a 4 and then down to a 1. Guest says a 6 to a 3. Awesome! Having their little tapping party in Texas, Dallas. Yeah, you're welcome, Christina. Adrian, 8, 6, 4, 2. Wow, tracking it. I'm open to the possibility of having my heart completely open when interacting with people. And I don't quite remember what it was like. So hang out with the pieces that you've just come up with, everybody. I don't know what it's like. So you're chanting that to yourself while I'm reading this chat, okay? Jana says, is having memories surface, but I'm doing good still. Great. Those memories are valuable pieces of information. Trapped emotion has been there. It's coming up. And maybe those are quite young, where you don't even realize that you were making conscious decisions. It was just imprinting. So keep focusing on those memories, tapping and breathing love to that little mind that was so impressionable. Gina's down to a 2. Isn't this fun, you guys? Celeste says, my mom is not paying attention to her abuse, and I'm learning to stand back. A 10 to a 5. Wow! Celeste has boundaries. Awesome. Mary, 7 to a 5. Realizing father's death and mother's instability gave me feelings of unworthiness. You guys are doing so well. Okay. And you may not be able to see our group of super tappers back there. You see Jennifer Norvell's picture, but because the broadband at Compound Joy, we affectionately call it, is weak, and so they're not using the camera, but they're still present and they're still tapping away in the background. I can feel you. All right, let's get back to it. Massaging the chest. Let's just reset here, shall we? Even though it's come so far, and say what it is now, what number it is now, down to a 5 or down to a 2. Big breath. And it would be really weird for it to move any further. Tap the eyebrows, because this has been a big deal to me. Tap the temples. A really big deal, Sonia. Tap your cheeks. This has been a big deal. Big breath. Give yourself some compassion for how this issue that you're working on has taken up so much energy and time, maybe money, resources, caused feelings of embarrassment, shame, or fear. Tap the chest. Give yourself some compassion. It's been a big deal. Be really weird, maybe even embarrassing, if I could just tap along in front of my computer and disappear all this crap out of my brain. Tap the front of your ribs. I love and respect myself. The side of the ribs. And breathe. inside of the wrist, even with this feeling of, say what it is, and what's underneath it again? Index finger. Say what's underneath it again. This is what's really bothering me underneath it all. Tap the middle finger. It's okay if it doesn't shift anymore tonight or today. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. It's okay if it doesn't shift anymore. Big breath. Give yourself permission to just hang out where you are. It's better than when you started, isn't it? Big breath and just accept where you are. And the fact that maybe nothing more is going to change. Big breath. Tap your little finger. Did you hear that? My nose just whistled when I breathed. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of the hand. Even if this doesn't shift at all anymore. Part of me doesn't want it to shift. Tune in and see if that's true. Even a little part of you, does it not want it to shift? This little part of me doesn't want it to shift because why? What would it mean if this shifted 100% for you? Would you have to have more powerful, loving interactions and you're secretly scared of that? Would you have to get over your main big thing that you're always upset about? And do something else with your precious intelligence? Tap the chest. Why does a part of me want to hold on to this? This question was in the core causes questions. Remember what your hidden gain would be for holding on to this issue, these feelings, these beliefs? So I'm asking you to kind of bust yourself right here. What is it? Tap the front of the ribs and breathe. I'm trying to what? Get back at my mother? I know who you are. Protect myself? It's classic. It's been done before. It doesn't actually work. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm trying to what? Tap the side of the thumb. Tap your index finger. Big sigh, big breath. Just relax towards whatever you may have just realized. Tap your middle finger. Is it really helping me to slow myself down by holding on to this old survival strategy? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. And if you think it is, say, yeah, I think it's helping me. And that's cool. You can hold on to it for as long as you need to. And it's also possible that you don't need it anymore. Tap your little finger and breathe. Good. And tap the side of the hand. I'm allowing myself the possibility of letting this issue dissolve and resolve, including this secret belief that I need to hold on to. What? What are you holding on to? What specifically? Is it anger? Is it grief? Is it fear? Is it judgment? It might be really justified. It probably is. And it certainly isn't going to say, okay, I let go of this, and so it makes it okay that you abused me, right? It doesn't make it okay that that happened to you. It just makes it over. It's a get out of jail free card. We're passing them out today. Here it is. Ready? I'm letting myself out of this jail of what? Trying to punish my mother? Trying to protect myself? Tap the front of the rib cage. I need my energy. Tap the side of the ribs. I deserve to feel safe. I deserve to feel loved. I deserve to feel calm. Tap the side of your thumb. I deserve to feel important. Tap the index finger. I deserve to feel believed. Tap the middle finger. I deserve to feel what? Fill in the blank for yourself. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I deserve to feel, say it again. Tap the little finger. The side of the hand. I love and respect myself exactly as I am. Tap the top of the head, and it's safe for me to do this. And tap the eyebrows to clear this completely. Tap the temples. Even if a tiny part of me is invested in holding on to the feelings of what? Because why? Tap into the lips. The rest of me is willing to let this go. Tap your chest. The rest of me is willing to grow beyond this, to take care of the part of me that got left behind. Tap the front of the ribs. What would your most positive, healed version of this scenario be like? Can you describe that in a moment or two? If I healed this, what would happen? And what would you be able to do? Tap the side of your ribs. Check in and see if you have any fear about that new level of activity. Big breath. Whoo! This fear. Fear of what? Imagining again that this is healed. And then having to do what or be what? Or take responsibility for what? I'm allowing myself to come into a new level of power. Tap your middle finger. It's safe for me to come into a new level of power. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. Let's say it again with some enthusiasm. It's safe for me to come into a new level of power. Good. Tap your little finger. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of the hand. I'm allowing this new level to feel comfortable and normal, even if it's brand new. Imagine it again. What would it be like to have this issue healed? Tap the temples. We're almost done, you guys. Hang in there. I know it's a heavy-duty one today, isn't it? Tap the cheeks. I'm cleaning this up because I deserve to feel what? And to be done with this. Tap the chest. I refuse to limit myself because of my past feelings, my past thoughts, my past experiences. Tap the front of the ribs. I'm cleaning this up for myself. Tap the side of the ribs for my family. Tap the inside of the wrist, and if you're feeling generous, you can say for the world, because we're a part of the world, and we all affect each other. And now we're learning to positively affect each other. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm allowing myself to become a more powerful, positive person. Tap the index finger. Positively affecting people. Myself first. Big breath. Think about the healed version of your scenario. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. I'm rising in power and capacity. I'm ready for all of us to rise in power and capacity together. Tap the side of the hand. I'm cleaning up the fear and the pain, the abuse and the trauma, so that I can stand clear-eyed, calm-hearted, peaceful, radiant, present, and complete. Tap under the lips and breathe. Good job. You hear that whispered it to you. Good job. Tap your chest. So we're just about done with tonight's circle. Tap the front of your ribs. Tune into how you're feeling about the issue that you originally brought to this circle. Tap the side of the ribs. I want you to shine some love into any little corners that are still feeling a little crumbly, a little grumpy, a little left out, and bring them into your heart. Give them some love, some respect. They're just waiting for empathy. And 2 or 3 minutes of just sheer empathy. This little remaining piece. This little remaining piece. Focus on it and breathe. This little remaining piece of what? That I feel about what? This little remaining piece of what? That I feel about what? This little remaining piece. Shine some empathy there. Give it some credit. It's done a lot. It's held on to a lot. It probably held on to it for a lot of good reasons. Maybe even to protect other people or to help other people. And now we're going back after it to say, hey, thanks, you can put that heavy load down now. Mission accomplished, at ease. We respect you. We're giving you a gold medal for bravery and courage. We're giving you a gold star on your forehead, or lots of them. Tap your chest and breathe. What do these little parts of yourself, of your issue, need to hear? I'm going to give you a couple minutes to just say whatever it is that part of you that may still be clinging to some feelings needs to hear. Tap the side of the ribs. Tell it what it needs to hear. Tap the inside of your wrist and breathe. Tap the side of your thumb. This part of me really needs to know what? Tap your index finger. And it needs to be reminded that what is true? Tap your middle finger. I'm allowing myself to clear it up with this extra love. Send some extra love in. Scrubbing bubbles of love. Here it comes. Big breath. Send it in. Good job. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. Send some forgiveness in there, some kindness, some understanding, and a lot of respect for having carried this burden for so long and made it this far. Tapping the top of your head. So now I would like you to do the final check-in. One more time. Put in the chat window what your issue was at the beginning, what it is now, and any other words of awareness that you have about yourself after having tapped with us. And again, I'm just waiting for the chat. It takes a couple of seconds for it to come in. If you're not chatting, you're just tapping on your chest and going, okay, I'm aware of this now. And just notice how your body's feeling, how your heart's feeling. Rob, you tickle me. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. 8201. 8202. Jennifer says, I uncovered a deeper element and something I picked up as a child from my sister. Beautiful. Diana zeroed it out. Guest is down to a 3. You guys are slapping each other a high five about now. Jana says, Nicole is down to a 1. Yay. Jana says, down to a 3 and happy to have uncovered a new piece. I have the skill to handle it and I'm safe. Christina, 7 to a 2.5. That's super for you, Christina. Look how fast you're going these days. I might be worthy of love. Or I might question mark be worthy of love, but that child definitely is. And you're right. You go back and be her best mama now, okay? And says, I'm allowing myself to think, believe, and feel that my issue is a 0, even if it's not and it comes back up. Let's do a little tapping for in case it comes back up, okay? But I'm glad you're allowing yourself to imagine it staying a 0. Gina's down to a 0 from an 8. Wow, so heavy and good, letting it all go, allowing myself to be me. Mary says, I need to take control and be less passive in relationships. Stand up for yourself, sister. You're going to get what you settle for, so don't settle. Okay, last call for little chats. We're going to tap for just 2 more seconds, okay? So massaging the front of your chest. Even though I'm worried that this might come back. Think about your issue that you originally started with. I love and accept myself. What if it comes back? Tap the temples. What will I do? Tap the cheeks. The fear of this coming back. Tune into the fear of it coming back. We're going to turbo tap it and just say this fear. Tune into it again, this fear of it coming back. Tap the front of the ribs, this fear. Side of the ribs, this fear of it coming back. Top of the head, this fear. Eyebrows, this fear of it coming back. Temples, breathe, tune into the fear of it returning. Tap the cheeks. Tap into the nose. If it comes back, I'll bring it to circle again and again as long as I need to. Tap the chest. It may not come back. It's possible I've really cleared something tonight. Tap the front of the ribs. It's possible that I've really shifted something at a deep level. Tap the side of the ribs. Even though it would be weird for it not to come back. Part of me sort of expects it to come back and maybe even wants it to come back a little bit because it's part of my identity. It doesn't have to be a part of my identity anymore. It doesn't have to be a part of my identity. I'm curious to see who I'd be without this. Big breath. If it comes back, I'll tap for a couple of minutes and keep moving. Tap your chest. I'm curious to see what life would be like without this in the background anymore. Good job, everyone. Final chat. Okay? Tap all over your body. Some extra praise and love and gratitude for having taken some time out of your life to sit down and clean up your inner world. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world all the time. So I love you for taking care of your inner world because that makes our outer world more fun and more safe, and it makes you more interesting and fun to play with for everybody. If you'd like to say anything in the chat window about your experience in the circle, or what you've learned, or how you're feeling now, this is that last minute to do it. You're welcome, Celeste. Thank you for showing up. Christina, down to a 2, chipped off a half a point. I'm proud of processing so fast. You're doing so well. Jennifer says, feeling more loved. I'm loved, and it feels really great. Yes, you are. You are super loved. Adrian says, thank you to everybody. I just want to remind you that we would love to get as many people involved in this as possible. And we're going to be keeping the price for the subscription what it is for one more month, basically through the end of November and through all of December. And then we're going to raise the price of this circle so that we can stay afloat. So if you've got friends or family that really need this work, they've still got about a month and a half, about 5 or 6 weeks to get in at this opening special price, which boils down to $6.75 a week for something that's truly helpful and really powerful and extremely convenient. So go out and get the people that you know involved. Bring them to your house. Give them a little taster. Turn them on to something that could really, really change their lives and get them in at the good deal. I want to get as many people who need the help in at this rate as possible. I know there are others that can afford to pay more. So go in and get your friends who are struggling right now and show them what you know. Okay? Christina's asking, what will the new price be? Not sure yet. Somewhere between $40 to $50 a month. So right now it's $27 a month, or annually $260, which saves you 20% off of that. Okay? So it'll probably be double. So go out, email them, call them, tell them, come on, try it, try it, try it. You've got some time. But I just wanted to give you a heads up now so that the people that we love and know get the support that they need, okay? And we got to allow the circle to grow. Okay, and you guys won't be charged more. Your subscriptions aren't going to go up. Whoever's in on this price stays in on this price. That's why it's so cool to tell them to get in, because their price isn't going to go up, and neither is yours. So don't panic. Repeat, don't panic. Your subscription rate is not going to go up. If you have a year subscription right now, it'll be a year until your subscription expires. If you're on the $27 a month, you can have that lifetime. If you just stay subscribed, your price won't change. Okay? All right. Any other last comments? Kisses? Cuddles? I'm sending you love and respect. And thank you for standing in your power. I'll see you very soon.